Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am doing great. Still pumped after last night's webinar. We had a great conversation with our traders. I think everybody found it valuable. It was a good hour. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it actually was a lot of fun. And, I always have a great time talking to members, and you guys had some amazing questions, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you for that. Friends, we got a lot going on this morning. Once again, not as much as yesterday, but we do have a lot going on. Let's jump right to some economic data that's coming out right now. Then we'll get to our gappers list in just a second.
I was thinking that one of these days we got to change the morning music to something like soft and mellow and just confuse
And
everybody.
shock everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Anyways, all right, economic calendar. Yes, we do have some numbers that came out. You can see them posted already here. Continuing jobless claims and initial jobless claims both came out over estimate. So more people out there looking for work than was anticipated. So that's usually bad for the economy, good for the stock market. And we're seeing a little bit of a rise so far this morning. The only other number was the U.S. productivity, which is sort of counter to that. It was actually up. Anticipated was 1.7% growth in productivity. It grew by 2.3%, which is interesting that went the opposite direction of the jobs. However, those numbers are the small ones. The big one we were waiting for yesterday is basically a zero. We were looking for no change in the interest rate yesterday. That's what the U.S. Fed delivered, and Powell supported that in his comments. We were watching the press conference in the chat room in the afternoon, and every reporter basically is asking a variation of, so are you going to reduce it by a quarter point in September? What about September? Are you going to reduce the rate? Surely you're going to reduce the rate in September. What if this happens? Will you reduce the rate? Same question over and over and over again. And they had to dance around that. So basically said, the usual, right? We'll see what happens. We'll take it as it comes. However, indicators are that they're probably going to reduce it. So we're right on track. As you may have noticed if you were trading yesterday afternoon, nothing moved. The market sort of said, good, that's exactly what we were anticipating. So it was sort of a, big buildup, a little disappointing, I guess, from a trading point of view, because we really didn't get any big movement. So pretty quiet yesterday, and I think that we're going to continue that quiet stance through the rest of this week. We do still have earnings. A lot of earnings happening. We had a couple after the close yesterday that we were watching. We'll talk about them, the big three. So we had three yesterday morning. This morning, we'll talk about the big three from last night, which would have been Meta, Qualcomm, and ARM. And then we've got a bunch more that are going to be some minor, lesser important ones I'll mention to you this morning. And then tonight after the close, we got a couple of biggies that we'll be looking forward to with Amazon, Apple, Intel, Roku, DraftKings, all those are coming after the close today. So it'll be busy once the closing bell rings. But for now, let's take a look at what's on the gappers list, because we do have some targets we can focus on.
We sure do, my friends. Let's take a look at our gappers list right now. So we got a couple of stuff in the green, including the big guy in the room there, Meta. So Meta leading the way right now with 9% this morning. We got Roblox, which I'd like to trade when it is in place. So we'll look at that. Lately, hasn't been great. So we'll see how that's doing. And some fun tickers like Race, which are fun tickers, but they don't trade all that good. So we'll see what's going on there. NVIDIA making its way on here as well, 2.5. Now let's look at this gap down, right? I don't know why this gap down list is so big. So hopefully this is correct. The market seems to be doing well yesterday. A lot of stuff was pushing up, especially in the tech part of things. It's doing good now. It's up almost 0.5%. So I don't know why all this stuff is gapping down. That's a lot of tickers. So, and there's some weird tickers. I see some banks on here, maybe financial stuff, mRNA. So we'll dive into that. We'll see what's driving all these tickers to be down by so much this morning: 12, 9, 9, 8, 5, 15%. It seems a little aggressive there. So we'll dive into that. Let's take a look at the first one this morning. Is going to be our good, I was going to say Meta, but that's not the first one. It is going to be APTV. What is this? APTV. Okay, so this is how we're going to start the day today. This is what we want to do here. This is just straight garbage.
Is this what you want to do today?
Unbelievable. This is all that excitement that me and Peter are bringing into the show, and you start us off with this stuff. All right. This should not be here, guys. Actually, again, we're continuing to see this data situation on the scanners. We only have this thing is not in play. Only 20,000 shares traded. It shouldn't be here. For some reason, it's showing 700,000. So, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get
I don't
that
know.
taken care of. Let's go to the next one, which is probably gonna be the same thing. Actually, not the same thing. 8.4 RCM. I don't know what they do, but they are looks like a buyout. So they were halted from
What? You
news
haven't
early.
heard of
Looks like
them?
no
Oh, I'm
RCM. No,
kidding.
what is that?
I'm kidding. I have no idea who this is.
But I
R1
know someone
RCM.
has heard of them. If someone has heard of them, it would be you.
But
uh,
your read is right on it. I'll give you that. It is a
yeah,
buyout. They're big enough that they're going to be acquired by a company called Tower Brook and CD&R. $8.9 billion is the acquisition price, and that represents about $14.30 a share. As always, that means that the acquiring price is a little bit over this flatline price that we're seeing right now, and it's not going to move. So yeah, not a good trading target for us today.
yeah, it's brutal. Let's go down to one that we really want to get to here. It's gonna be Meta. So Meta looking awesome this morning. 8.7, 1.1 million shares traded. Again, just blew it out the park yesterday, Peter, and we're seeing the effects of that today.
Well, yeah, Meta beat their numbers. Wasn't a big beat, but they did beat the numbers, and the market like that, especially after hours traders, this thing really popped up quite a bit, about a 30. Well, I think from the options chain, the anticipated move was about $39, and we pretty much hit it right on. So it was it was sort of interesting how that occurred. They did say a couple of interesting things in their earnings announcement. Their numbers were one thing. They did say over the course of 2024, they anticipate spending 37 to 40 billion dollars on AI infrastructure. So that's good news for companies that are selling AI infrastructure. They're saying that their their Meta AI engine, which is, by the way, seen most use out of India. India seems to be the hotbed for utilization of the Meta AI engine. But their Llama 3 module, which they finished building and is now deployed into the Meta AI, they're now working on the Llama 4 version, and they're expecting the cost for implementation and learning to be 10 times what Llama 3 was. So, wow, like that's a lot of. There you go. We got llamas being posted. There's a lot of money being spent here in AI, right? So we'll see what happens. We got a question here from Omar that I want to address. Do you think it's a good idea to get in or stay out after earnings? I think you need to answer that question for yourself. Personally, I very rarely trade earnings because managing the risk to reward, right? The volatility is so high that you can make money, but you can lose it just as fast, right? You get these big moves. So in Meta, if you'd guessed right, you get the big pop and you're on the right side of it. Let's say you assumed it was going short, though. Think of how badly that would have hurt, and it couldn't go either way. So usually I just stay out because I can't manage the risk effectively. But there's lots of people that can trade these and trade it, very well. So I think you need to make the call as to whether it's worth it to you. So Meta earnings after the close today going to be in play. I mean, I think we have to keep it on our list because it certainly will be in play.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the way it's setting up here, guys. Tons of volume. So definitely on top of the list this morning. I'm going to add it right on here. Meta in play today. Next is going to be Roblox. Roblox, it does trade well. It hasn't in the last couple of, I want to say, months that it's been on the list, that it's made the list. It hasn't been the same, but it used to trade very good. We did get a continuation. We haven't seen that lately. So I still want to keep it on a secondary. Might not make our main list. It is up of 3.6, 720,000. Peter, I'm going to assume I haven't looked at it yet, but is it earnings at 8 a.m. here or is something else driving this move?
Correct. Yes, indeed. It was earnings. They're a little late on their earnings. Normally, the companies like to release earlier than 8, but they did just come out. They beat top and bottom line, so good numbers there. What seemed to be dominating the news cycle was not so much their earnings, but there is a class action lawsuit out there from a law firm called Levi and Korzinski. That they're telling everybody the deadline's coming up in about 2 weeks, August the 12th, to stake your claim. Especially they want those deep-pocketed ones that had over $100,000 worth of net losses, because they're claiming the company misled investors because they originally, the very first time they gave a forecast, they didn't hit it. They actually called off the forecast and delivered lower results. So they're claiming that that's a fraudulent activity. I don't know. I'm very skeptical of these class action lawsuits. I mean, it's the first time the company ever issued a forecast, and you would expect them not to be that good at it. It takes time to sort of figure out your forecast normally, especially when you're going to the market and you've got different rules and sort of approaches that you take to managing your revenue, not managing, but reporting it, I should say. I don't know. I mean, I have no data on this. I wonder how often these lawsuits actually win. Like, it seems like somebody's just angry. You lost money. You made a bet in the market and it went the wrong way. Suck it up, kids. But yeah, here comes the rant. There you go, Hector. Absolutely. This is my rant for the day. I just think sometimes we go too far in trying to like make someone else responsible for our own decisions. Here, let me segue, because maybe I'm on this because I was coming back from my event last night. There was a woman that was parked on the side of a highway right beside a giant parking lot. And one of the things that always happens when I drive a sports car, I notice people always think you're driving faster than you are just because the car looks fast. And I was driving by and I was actually doing under the speed limit. The speed limit was 80 kilometers an hour and I was doing 74 kilometers an hour. Anyways, and the woman stepped into the middle of the road in front of me and does the old, slow down, you're driving too fast, because she's loading her kids into the car. I get it. You're nervous, but there was cars on the other side. I was doing below the speed limit. Why are you holding me accountable for your laziness? There's a parking lot right there. Park in the damn parking lot and you and your kids will be safe. If you choose to park on the side of the highway, you're going to have cars driving quickly by you. That's just the way it goes. So anyways, I feel better.
Facts.
Thank you, everybody. Anyways, so these lawsuits, Roblox, let's get back to stocks here. You know what? Don't hold people accountable for your bad decisions. You lost money. Suck it up. Move on. There you go. All right? So
yeah.
Welcome to August,
Absolutely.
everybody. Welcome to August. There's my rant for August. By the way, we had a question in the room earlier about August. Is it the worst? Statistically, it's the second worst month to trade. Now, I say that because people tend to measure with things like this. Let me put an image up for you. This is the monthly returns, average monthly returns from 1950 to 2017. And you can see in August, the average monthly returns are negative 0.1%. Negative 0.5% in September. So statistically, the worst month in the market for returns is September, although August is usually pretty bad. Where August takes the cake, I would argue, is it tends to be lower volume, right? Because it's the summer months. We got sort of less activity going. There are people on vacation, and they're not. The old axiom in the market used to be sell in May and go away, right? And you would come back in September after touring Europe or whatever you did when you were a rich moneybags back at the turn of the last century. But what you can get, though, in August is big moves, outsized moves. You'll get these long periods of nothingness, right? Boring, choppy markets, and then these really big moves because you have that lowered volume. And things can move with, exaggerated movement compared to what they would have if you had the bigger volume. So I actually like August. It takes a lot more patience than it might in late September, October, November. So be aware of that. Let's not get down on August, right? There's opportunity. Just be patient for it, and don't go crazy. Don't go hunting for it too much, because if you start jumping at everything that moves, you're probably going to get caught in a lot of chop. So there you go. There's my advice for August. We'll see how things go. Let's get back to our list, because we do have a couple. Well, we have a lot more earnings to get through.
Yep, let's do that. Roblox again on a secondary here. Let's move down to the next one. I see Race, a great ticker name, but this shouldn't be on here either. This has 18,000. I know they had earnings. They're doing an EV vehicle, Peter. I heard that they're planning to do that, which people are like, what?
Look, I don't think you can be an auto
sound
manufacturer anywhere on the planet and not be looking at EVs, as much as it upsets people. I mean, heck, Harley Davidson has done an EV motorcycle already. So, if that sacred chestnut has gone there, then who can't, right? They
Yeah.
have. There's been a lot of rumors, right? They've said some of the old executives have said they would never do one. That being said, there are like EV only races that are, that frankly they're not going to be able to participate in if they don't have one on the market. So I'm not sure where it's going. Frankly, all of their results have nothing to do with EVs. What's interesting, I did get a Porsche Club announcement yesterday that was talking about the Paddock Club. This is in New Jersey, actually, Carlos. So maybe I can go near you and race the car on a track. But they were talking about in the clubhouse and on the track and in all of the garages, they would not allow any EV or hybrid vehicles. So I thought that was interesting. That feels
Hmm.
like an overreaction that they're claiming there's fire hazards and other risks. I mean, let's face it. Isn't a battery exploding more of a fire hazard than putting like liquid fuel into things? Anyways,
Yeah.
but
It usually
it's
comes down to the
interesting to me.
insurance, right?
Well, yeah, and this is what happens when the world changes, right? You all
Right.
may know I'm a pickleball player, and pickleballers and tennis players are struggling to get along. It feels a lot to me like when I was a kid, and snowboarders and skiers struggled to get along on the hills, right? It's always when you get a change up that the old school's fighting the new, and eventually they figure out how to get along. You remember when rock and roll was the devil music? Well, that's even before my time. But we've all adjusted. We're here now. Things will change. Get used to it. So Ferrari, their results have nothing to do with being an EV. Anyways, back to that. They're fun to watch 4 times a year. I'm always surprised that they're on our list because they're from a trading stock. They're relatively small, low volume. Small trading. Obviously, everybody knows the Ferrari brand, right? One of the most iconic brands in the world, but doesn't mean that they're a good trader. So they did have earnings, they did beat their numbers, and they actually raised their guidance. So whether they're doing EVs or not, they're selling more Ferraris than ever before. So life is good.
Wow. I was trying to type race and I type rave. That's a ticker. That is a
Rave.
great ticker. Rave, man. Sucks that we can't
What is
trade it because this
Rave?
is pure garbage, but that would have
You're going
been
to a
an
Rave
awesome ticker to
restaurant
be a
group.
part of.
Oh,
Ah,
that's
look at
that's a
that.
restaurant group that we've never traded. Relatively low float.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There it is. What
Rave.
is happening here? All
What
right,
is
let's
even
get to it,
happening?
friends. This list not looking so hot. Let's look at Snap. Snap this morning, 333,000. Again, I just don't like the way this thing trades. I think it's very choppy. I don't think it's really in play, Peter. I think they already had their earnings, right? Did they already did that or no? I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
any
this is
news on
not. This,
this?
this is sympathy with Meta, right? Being associated with
Yeah.
Meta because of Meta's earnings. I think Snap is just sort of going along for the ride here this morning.
Yeah, take a look at Met if you want to trade this. I think it'll be a better play. HNL, again, this shouldn't be here, so I'm going to skip along just to save time. Volume is not correct, but same thing. That shouldn't be here. We'll skip along. All right, let's go. Peter, any gap up earnings this morning?
Gap up, yeah. Let's check out what have we missed here. How about Shell? SHEL. This is the Shell fuel company that everybody knows. SHEL had earnings this morning. I didn't even look at it to detail because they beat their numbers, is my understanding. Let me just double check that. Where'd they go? Here they are. They missed revenue slightly, but beat bottom line, and it was the bottom line that we were watching out for. I mean, it always amazes me how they are another company. Remember, we were talking the other day about a company that's getting in trouble because they were cutting their eco-friendly offerings because they were too expensive, and they went back to the old traditional. Shell sort of had the same story, but they played it a little better. They doubled down on some of the oil refinery activities. Whether you like it or not, look, it's yielding results in terms of the stock price. So, it's tough for these companies, I guess. They definitely, they'd love to go green as long as it's profitable, and it's tough when it costs more. So, in Canada here, we fight with that a lot with the carbon tax credit scheme that people will love to hate. But at least we're trying to do something. So think of it what you will. Anyways, Shell had earnings, not a great trader, probably not something you want to watch. All the other trading companies, I think, are gapping down despite some other good numbers out there. Everything else is gapping down. So maybe we'll we'll handle that on the gap down list when we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look here at mRNA, friends. So mRNA this morning gapping down 16%. Now, if I was talking to a member here on YouTube, they're saying that this thing, the earnings is actually tonight. Is that correct?
No, no, they had earnings
This looks
this
like
morning.
earnings action. Okay, so earnings right
Yeah,
now, actually. All right, so this is
yeah.
earnings play on mRNA. Down 16%, some good volume. This will be on play today. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, they actually beat their numbers. They're gapping down because they forecasted lower revenues out of the EU with low vaccine consumption. So they haven't called off their guidance, but that's not true. They did cut their guidance overall because of that. So that's why they're gapping down. I mistook it for something else. Anyways, yes. So they cut guidance due to the lowered EU vaccine volumes. So that's bringing them down below 100 now. It's always significant, right, when you hit those big even numbers. So we'll see what happens at the open. But I think this one might be worth watching. It sort of looks good pre-market. Ideally, I'd like to see more volume, over 1 million shares. We're not there yet. So I'm a little skeptical, but hopefully it'll pick up.
Yep. Kyle was the one that gave me that information. He's like, as I was going to type to him, you're in trouble. He right away responded, I'm fired. He's like, I'm fired. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're going to get a mini garbage can bin for that incorrect information.
Fired
But
himself.
he read the information wrong. All good, my friend. All good. He's a good guy. Always on, man. I appreciate your support. All right, let's see what's next here. Man, this list seems so long. MBLY. This is down at 11%, 757,000. Again, it just looks like earnings are very early this morning, and we're seeing the drop today. So, is that what it is, Peter? On this?
They cut their guidance. There's really the big reason why. This is Mobile Eye, or Mumbly, as I like to call it. Anyways, Mobile Eye, relatively light trader. I don't find the volume ever picks up in this. You can sort of see it on your chart there, right? That daily volume is. I mean,
Yeah.
there's decent enough volume, but it just doesn't. The order flow is not great. So, anyways, cut their guidance for the full year, and that's got them gapping.
All right. Again, pre-market looks great, guys. I would like to add this. I just don't think they're going to deliver at the market open. I'm going to take my chances here. Let's put it on here on a secondary list. I just want to look to see how that's going to trade. But this pre-market action looks great. You're down 11%. You got some volume here. But the daily does not give us a lot of hope. Looking at Wayfair this morning, down 11.8, 841,000 shares traded. This is a hit or miss. This actually can trade well. Little light volume on the daily. You know, today we got some news. Looks like, and might be a good one. Peter, what's driving this down today?
Yeah, it was earnings play. They actually missed their revenue, and people are concerned that the top may have been in on home furnishings and that they're going to go in decline. That being said, they actually beat on earnings. They beat their bottom line, and that surprises me just from a personal perspective, based on how many damn ads I keep seeing. They're spending a lot on advertising, so I would have thought, if anything, that would cut into their bottom line. But I guess they budgeted for it well, because they beat their numbers. Anyways, they beat what everybody was expecting. So at least on the bottom line, they just need more revenue now to bring in the money to pay for it all. So maybe the ads aren't working very well. More ads. So
Yeah.
they need more purple. I mean, who doesn't? At least for me, because of watching the Olympics, they seem to be advertising all throughout the Olympics. Now they've done a good job. At least now, tell me if it's the same for you guys. When I see that purple color, I know it's Wayfair. They've branded that bright purple color that's definitely there. So if I see it, I get at least twitchy eye and waiting for my wife to go buy another rug or something from Wayfair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I got you, man. Let's look at TS this morning. This doesn't look good. 290,000 shares traded, down 7.5. Looks very choppy in the daily. Could be foreign. Let me see. Yeah, South America, maybe. Yeah, I don't like it, guys. Doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, this is
So,
actually, they're based out of Luxembourg, Tenaris, an oil and gas services company.
okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it. Not really interested in talking about it, to be honest.
Not
They had
interested
earnings, but
in that one at all.
I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, don't like it. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. There's a lot of garbage on this list, so we're going to just do this for the sake of time, because we want to get to some good ones. We want to get to Amazon that has earnings after hours today. We want to get to Apple that has earnings after hours, and then any other ones that might be on this list that might be worth watching. Right now, it's a lot of stuff that you can kind of skip over. So, Peter, we'll go to you. Let's start with just the bin of the garbage. Yeah, it's a lot on here that doesn't look great.
Yeah,
Peter, what
more
else you
fuel
have
for the
as far as
fire.
earnings in the gap down? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we had a lot that had some good earnings but gapped down. So let me go through my list here, starting with some of the ones we were watching last night. So we talked about Meta because they were gapping up. What is gapping down this morning are both Qualcomm, and ARM. So let's start with Qualcomm. They beat their numbers, and largely it was based to their sale of phone chips. It was up 10%, and they actually increased their guidance. So it begs the question, why are they getting punished? Why are they gapping down? And to be honest, I don't know. There is some concern that they think that the mobile sales recovery is slow. However, they raised guidance on strong chip demand. So, it doesn't really matter whether they sell the phones or not. All that matters is that the phone manufacturers buy Qualcomm's chips. They can sit on the shelf for all Qualcomm cares, I'm sure. So I don't know. I mean, I think that QCOM might be one worth watching because it's gapping down, and it'll be like one of these reversal plays maybe once the big volume comes in after the open, because we're only seeing 400,000 shares, which tells me the big money hasn't voted yet. So yeah, well, we got to see what happens with that one. ARM has their own story for the quarter. They once again beat their numbers. They actually provided lower guidance in the next quarter. So I understand why they're gapping down, right? Another chip manufacturer, they're gapping down because that's Q1 that they just reported. Again, beat their numbers. Q2, they're saying that they're actually going to miss their numbers, but net, they think it's going to come out to exactly what they forecasted on the year. So they haven't changed their full year guidance. This once again feels like maybe an overreaction that we can watch. Remember the strong, numbers we had out of AMD yesterday, and is that going to result in maybe the market feeling a little better? I don't know. I mean, yesterday we had a little bit of a fake pop up and then a drop down. Overall, AMD didn't do much to recover. It sort of was showing weakness through yesterday. So I'm not sure what to think of ARM. However, it does feel like on an individual basis, their reporting was pretty good. So take of that what you will. But I think you could potentially watch both of those. Although I said, as soon as I go to semis, you know what I go to, AMD and NVIDIA. Other than those earnings for this morning, we have a couple that I just mentioned because they're fun. We already talked about Wayfair. We already talked about mRNA. How about Crocs? CROX. Just because, again, one of those companies I'm still surprised are independent. They haven't been bought by a big footwear manufacturer. I guess where do you put them, right? I mean, sure, they're primarily make shoes, but they make like foam rubber shoes. Where do you put that in your portfolio? I guess if you're going to buy them, so independent they are, and everything was good on Crocs. They beat their numbers. They raised their guidance. I don't know. Sounded like the reporting was good, but they're gapping down this morning, so nobody loves it. I see people mentioning Carvana. It's not one that I was focused on, but CVNA, our good buddies at Carvana, did actually have a surprise earnings beat. They had reported higher sales than anticipated in used car sales, gapping up quite a bit this morning. Actually, good 17. Well, I guess now it's sitting at about a $13 jump here, but yeah, low volume, really low volume, barely over 200,000 shares here. So probably why they weren't on our list earlier. And yeah, I don't know. They haven't moved with a lot of volume in a while. I mean, if you look at their regular daily volume, they're sitting around 4 million shares on average per day, which is not quite enough to get the order flow that gets me excited. So I think Carvana's fun. I like their little automatic car dispenser machines, but yeah, I don't like trading it. So anyways, that's my read on Carvana. That's what I had on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
Sorry, I was just saying that's what I had on my list. Nothing else. The only thing I see Tony mentioning EY Lilly, LLY. I hadn't looked at that. We can look at this. What is it doing? Ugh. I think it's earning. Their earnings are coming up, aren't they? Is it after the close today or tomorrow? Well, I have to look that up. When are their earnings? They are next week. I'm way off.
Okay.
A week from today is when their earnings are happening. Yeah, I don't. They don't typically get a lot of volume. They're not getting volume today. Yeah, I don't see anything of excitement on them.
All right.
Not for me, anyways. There's enough other good targets out here. Look at those.
Yeah. Yep, I believe there's better stuff out there. All right, guys, let's get to you guys and see what you guys like this morning. We'll start here in our chat room. I forgot to add ARM. I'm going to add ARM today. I think that one's going to look awesome. Looks really nice at the moment, so we'll definitely have that on deck. I saw Amazon being mentioned, so let's take a look at Amazon. Right now, 1.6 million shares traded. I'm sorry, 891 million shares traded. Thousand shares traded. So that's looking good right there. Yeah, that would be a heck of a morning for Amazon. But they're having earnings tonight too. So they're, again, I think usually stocks are great to watch after earnings. Stocks like Amazon, stocks like Apple, which both have earnings after the close today, are going to be great today to keep an eye on. I think people are going to try to anticipate what they're going to do here, and we should get some kind of action, right? Big stocks with earnings coming up can trade well. Already Apple up 1.2 this morning, so I think that looks decent. So definitely worth having them. I'm going to be watching both of those this morning. Again, we went through this entire gappers list, and there's just not a whole lot that looks great. So a lot of stuff in here that's an error, but a lot that just not really tradable. So we could look at some of our usual suspects today. One that we talked about ARM. Let's talk about NVIDIA. I also see that being thrown out here in our chat room as well. NVIDIA this morning, I mean, just look at the moves over the last couple of days. This thing actually got down to, was it 102? 102.040. Could have been lower maybe in the pre-market. I mean, this thing, the recovery in the last couple, actually lower. Look at this. If this counts, it actually went down to under 100? No. Right to like 100.1. So, I mean, that was just 2 days ago. We're sitting at 120 here, just insane. So I think it's worth watching NVIDIA as well. I'm going to keep it on my secondary for now. I can move this up a little bit later. I want to see if there's anything else that we can add to my main list aside what we have right now. So let's see. But NVIDIA definitely want to keep an eye on this morning. Carvana has over 100K shares traded. Yeah, CBNA. Yeah, 250, 225,000 is what I'm showing here. Again, look at the stock just continues somehow to push higher. If you look at their run, they were sitting just at $40 beginning of the year right here, and they were struggling. And then you can see that now they're just keep gapping up and staying, right? Every time they gap up, they create a new range. They did it there. They did it here back in May, and let's see what they do now, right? Not saying that's the case, but their gap ups have been sticking, and they've been able to just go sideways for a bit and continue higher. So it is a difficult stock to trade, though, as Peter was mentioning. So it is in play today. Just be careful, treat it with white glove service there. Be cautious with that one. All right, Heath over on YouTube is giving us AMD. We did talk about AMD. How is it doing today? Pretty flat. What's the deal with AMD and their sell-off? They're starting to remind me when Baba was doing this. Because Baba just kept gapping up or down. It didn't matter. But at the market open, they ended the candle red. And they are just on a roll here. Besides this one here, the sell-off continues after the bell. Every single candle here is red, including yesterday's. And Peter, they blew their earnings out the water yesterday, right? They did well. So, or was it the night before?
I mean, they did better than
Right?
expected. I wouldn't call it a complete
Okay.
blowout, but yes, they definitely did better than expected. So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
sort of a disappointing day yesterday if you were expecting AMD to really
Weird, man.
shoot up.
Yeah, that's a great example of receiving better than expected, which is a good thing. I don't remember what their outlook was, but you gapped up and it was a short the entire day. So having that bias, you got to be very, very, very careful. If you think okay, we're going to go back up to 165 or something, and it just doesn't happen. So AMD also on the secondary. I'm going to move up either AMD or Nvidia. I do want to watch one of these. I haven't decided which one yet. Nvidia looks I just noticed Nvidia has 15 million shares traded. Okay, yeah, we're moving that up. That's insane. I didn't notice that. That's insane. So yeah, we got to watch Nvidia with that type of volume. That's just massive. All right, let's see. Manfred, you're giving us LUMN. I feel like we've seen this before. Yeah,
Yep.
lower price stocks. So not my cup of tea. Lumen Technologies. We've seen this before. Be in play. It is in play today. Has been in play over the last couple of days, and a huge increase in volume, especially 2 days ago. Right on there, 161 million from like nothing. So that is nice. But again, this is just not my style of trading on these lower price stocks. So just be careful. Even look at the
They,
pre-market action this morning. Look at this, right? Just
yeah,
be
this
careful.
wasn't one that was on our radar. They did have some good news a couple of days ago where they announced a partnership with Microsoft, to the Microsoft Cloud services. So I guess that's always good, right? You get to mention one of the big, the Magnificent Seven in a press release. You get a little bit of a boost, but it is still a sort of a penny stock. It's a low. Whenever it's low below $5, right? You got to be careful on it because it can move with a crazy percentage moves, right? 50
Yeah.
cents
Yeah.
is huge to a $3 stock.
I think we might find the reason why AMD dropped. So Felipe said that Kramer said AMD is a buy. Yeah, that would do it.
There you go.
Kramer
The
said
Kramer
AMD is a
effect.
buy. There's that Kramer effect. That would do it if he actually did that. All right, friends, let's stop here. Again, a lot on the gappers list, but not a lot that looks great. Our economic data out this morning hasn't really moved the market. We got everything we needed yesterday. We just got to wait to September to see what are we actually going to cut rates for the next big moves. There's other economic stuff coming out. Peter, quick question. I mean, you had
Yeah.
jobless claim coming out today. Friday, what do we
Yeah.
have Friday? What
Friday.
do we have on
Well,
Friday?
yeah, hold on. Tomorrow we've
Let me check.
got unemployment report and hourly wages. Those are the big ones.
Yeah. So why do we have an FOMC meeting yesterday and not have it on Monday when you have the most fresh data? Is that done on purpose, or am I stupid here? Like, what's happening? Why do they do that?
Well,
I would think you want
I
these numbers.
yeah, well, I mean, just because we don't have the numbers doesn't mean they don't have the numbers, right? You would assume that they
Good
have
point.
better access to that. And frankly, their rate decision, it doesn't really matter whether it was yesterday on Wednesday or Monday. I mean, it was actually made like 2 weeks ago, right, when all the Fed chairs got together and decided what they were going to do and used their analysis. So information of that currency is not going to sway them one way or the other. In fact, there was a couple of questions that Powell had to address related to that in his press release, where he wanted to be very clear.
Yeah.
He said, we will be influenced by the numbers, but we will not be influenced by, I can't remember how he worded it. We'll be influenced by the data, but we won't be influenced by point data. So he's basically saying just because the economy is ticking up in one period or quarter doesn't mean that we're going to knee-jerk react to that. So he was pretty cautious in saying we're going to assess overall data and longer-term trends rather than individual data points. So I think to that end, Carlos, the timing of this data release wouldn't drastically affect how they look at their decisions, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. All right, friends. Let's head over to our community events announcement. We had a great webinar workshop yesterday, me and Peter. So thank you for those guys that made it out. We had a great time. Let's head over to our website, bearwithchoice.com, and you can always see what's happening there for the next 2 weeks. Today is Thursday, so we're full of psychology webinars. Actually, no, today's Thursday, mentorship webinars today. So let Peter walk you through it.
All right. Well, it's Thursday, which means it's a mentorship day. So we've got 4 different mentorship courses for you to enjoy and learn from. We start with John at 11 a.m., who does his mentorship, which is great. Small group. Gives you every opportunity to ask questions and get them answered in a more personal forum than maybe, in our chat room, which has got hundreds of people. You can ask it with just dozens and get your, sort of one-on-one type time. So hopefully you'll join John for that. For all of our elite members, that's in the webinar room at 11 a.m. At 2 o'clock, we switch rails a little bit and start talking options with Jared and Megan. I think last week Jared was doing it alone. He was Megan free. but now he'll get a double dose of Megan, I'm sure. And they will be together at 2:00 talking options. At 4:00 we switch back to equities, and Lenny takes over. Oh, and Phil is going to be filling in for John at 11. How exciting. All right. So look at that. We have a special guest. Phil's going to be leading that instead of John at 11 a.m. today. So good to know. Thank you, Raf, for that. Lenny's going to be talking 4:00 on his mentorship session. They're back in the webinar room, of course. And then we close off the day, as we always do on these Thursdays, with the ever popular, ever energetic Thursday mentorship session, which happens at 8 p.m. once again in the webinar room. So 11, 2, 4, and 8 are the 4 sessions. Hopefully you will put all of those in your calendar and attend them as you will. That's what we got going on for today. If you want information on the markets all day, anytime, 24/7, 365, go to tradingterminal.com. It's even there on leap years. It's the place to go. Apparently somebody's ordering a Tesla. What's happening?
I am. Sorry, I forgot I had to go here. I am going to check about ordering a Tesla because I need to understand how much options I have here. But yeah, let's. What you're looking at? You're looking at the trading terminal. Here it is.
I was just talking about trading terminal. I was saying how wonderful it is, and then I was curious about this Tesla ordering. Were you going to go for a Cybertruck or a Model 3? What were you looking at?
I want to understand the options of colors because I saw a dark blue one today this morning, and it looks great, and I saw it in my town. Usually I'm seeing them in the highways, right? So in public
Those
places,
have
but
to
this
all be
was
wraps, aren't they? Like,
that's what I want to find out because it looks so good. I seen a white one, I
yeah,
seen a blue
I
one,
think
every color but the fridge one. This one looks horrible. This fridge color, it looks like a
the
fridge, like you could
fridge
leave your
color.
fingerprints on it. It looks
I never
so
thought
bad.
about it
Like,
that
don't
way.
get this. Like, if you're
All
gonna
right.
get this, do not get the fridge color. It just looks horrible. But every other color I seen, I gotta admit, man, looks really good. Looks really good. So
Okay.
it's a
Well,
wrap that they're
I'm
doing.
pretty sure
Okay.
if you buy it, it only comes in one color. You can have any color you want as long as it's fridge magnet color.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that if you're going to spend the money on it, you have no problem spending money on a wrap for it. I would think so. So there you
Yeah,
go.
of course. And if you can make it look
Anyway,
much better, absolutely.
yeah. All right,
Yeah, it's
there
only
you
one
go.
color. All right, so that's what I was doing. Let's get back to what we have on deck this morning, guys. And that made me think of looking at Tesla. So if I'm looking at Tesla now, we are down almost 1%, a million shares traded. I think it's worth having on our secondary list. I don't know if it's going to move any direction, but it is in play. So we will add Tesla to the list right on here. So TSA. There we go.
We're stuck
All
in
right,
the Cybertruck.
are
What's
we stuck
happening?
on the screen? Brian, what's happening? The Cybertruck take over your computer?
There we go. Here we come.
All right, we got
Yeah.
it. Excellent. All right, let's take a look here, friends. Let's do some levels. So we'll start with Meta this morning. Meta looking really nice today. We'll see if that strength can continue. Either way, I think it's in place. Just be patient, right? Let the setup come to you. If it's going to be a long or short, we have to wait and see here. There could be some people that are stuck, not stuck, that are doing well from 450 that are looking at this morning saying, hey, it's time to take some off, right? So you could have some of that happening, some profit taking right out of the gates. 500 is 565 is 500.65 cents is the low of the pre-market there. And then below that, guys, oh, look at that level on the pre-market as well, right? You see that there's a lot of activity happening there. So good reason why that is your low of your pre-market. Slightly below that, we got a great level over at 492. And then down here, we have a 484 as far as the level goes. And then in the middle, between the highs and lows of the trading day this morning, pre-market, we do have 550.82, great areas for a lot of resistance happening there. If we can break out back above 520, we do have an area at a 529, and then all the way up here around 538ish. I want to cover this area first before I do this one, because this one here is closer to the price action, right? So if you're thinking, hey, why am I not putting my line over here instead? This is closest to the price action, so that's going to take a little bit more priority than this high here is. Once we break through that 538, then yeah, this up here will be important. Let's look at ARM. I like ARM today. I think that this one is heavily in play, 1.4 million shares traded. So I like what I'm seeing there. Low of the pre-market sitting at 126. When ARM is trading well, I have had some good success on it. So I'm inclined to have it on the list today because it looks pretty nice. 133 is the high of the pre-market. And then above that, guys, highs and lows 4. the last 2 trading days are doing awesome. We don't need anything else. Let's head to the left here and to the bottom, going back to May and June timeframe. Right on here, we're seeing right around 122.72, and then towards the bottom here, 117.86. So there you go. That is your highs and lows. Sorry, daily levels below the low of the pre-market on ARM. So looking nice this morning. Very active pre-market activity. Looking forward to that one. Amazon, the next two, Amazon and Apple. Again, good volume on Amazon here. They have earnings after hours today, after the close. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a fun evening. 191.49 is the high of the pre-market. And then we have 188.41 is the low of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, we're not going to make this more complicated than what it is. That looks pretty good there. So we'll leave that alone. And then above that here on the daily, we do have a level right around 194.39, and above here 196.34. So that's looking great. Really clean levels on Amazon, and this was going to be good because Amazon tends to really get going just out of nowhere in the middle of the day. Just see it just take off or flush, whatever, with a lot of volume. So this one you got to be patient. If you're trading all day, if you're looking for opportunities the entire day, this is one to definitely have on your list, right? So Amazon looks nice. All right, let's take a look at Apple here. Apple just leaving some of the areas of congestion down here towards the bottom. Just going to mark down the low of the pre-market, slightly above the previous day close at 222.70. High of the pre-market, a good area to slam a level on. That's going to be a 224.88. And then if we look on the daily, another great level here at 227.28, and then a big one over here at 230.30. So that's a great level there on Apple. Last but not least, with tons of volume this morning, is going to be our good buddy NVIDIA. So NVIDIA right now with 17 million shares traded. This thing is just all over the place. What a comeback they had here in the last couple of days, all the way down to 100 on the dot. Right, you don't see that here because that was done. I think it was pre-market or after hours, can't recall. But look, 100 on the dot here, and then recover sitting at 121. So if you bought in here, like some of the friends I know have done here on our BBT community, you are sitting pretty, friends. So 115.03 is the low of the pre-market here. It's showing some weakness right now, but still in the green. Again, you got to be taking. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but if it was me in this position, I'll be taking profits. That is a $20 move there. If you got the best possible entry. So that is awesome. 124.56 towards the top. It's a great area. And then above that, we do have here right around 128.32 gets the job done for the top here. So great levels on NVIDIA, tons of volume. Look at the movement this morning. You got a nice range from the high and the low of the pre-market today. So there you have it, friends. We're sitting at 177 likes. We'd love to get higher if we can. Help us get to 300. We have 400 plus viewers. So thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the show. And stay tuned for the live stream that's about to take place in just a couple of minutes here. But before we do that, let's look at our moderators list. Peter, whoa, where's the moderators list? What happened?
Yeah. Well, we got a few. We got a few in here.
Oh,
we'll start at the top.
Okay, there we go.
Thor was first in. And as always, he's watching the overall indices. He's watching his options plays. He's watching Meta and AMD. Can't blame him because I've also got Meta and AMD on my list. With it, I've got Tesla on my primary. And then as a secondary, I'm actually watching mRNA, ARM, and Qualcomm. There are a few IPOs, by the way, to mention. You can see those listed at the bottom. We have 2 IPOs and 2 SPACs, which are special purpose acquisition companies. We don't see as many of those as we used to, but we'll see. OSTX was supposed to open yesterday, did not. So we'll see if that opens today. I'll let you know if and when those occur. Pierre is going to be watching NVIDIA, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, and AMD. Brian is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, ARM, AMD, and Mumbly, MBLY. We did talk about that. I didn't love it, but he sees something in it. He likes it, so he put it on his list. We'll see what happens with it this morning. Avi's sticking with NVIDIA, Tesla, AMD, and Amazon. So a bunch of safe, big ticket bets there. Brendan, pretty much the same with AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Amazon. Same list, different order. Phil, well, same 4. Actually, no. Let's see. He added Meta in there. So watching Meta this morning instead of Tesla. And that's about it. That's what I've got for our moderators. We've got a bunch more that'll be coming in over the next few minutes. Carlos, I guess we're a couple of minutes earlier, but that's not a bad thing. It's always good to have a few minutes of extra time in the morning. And let me use that time to give you one of the quotes, because it's first day of August. And what happens at the first day, I always sort of update my journal, right? And I create a new journal file for every month. And as I do that, this morning, I went through all of I have little things that I put at the beginning of my journal. And one of the things that's in here, let me put it up on a screen here, and we'll share this with you. Because being that they're words that mean something to me, I will share them with you and see if they mean anything to you. Here we go. A word on discipline. Discipline is the greatest form of self-love. It's present you honoring a promise past you made to future you. I love that line. It's a quote that I keep in mind, because sometimes it's hard to be disciplined in trading, especially if you're trading all day, like Carlos was talking about a couple of minutes ago. So remember, if you want to be successful over the long run, if you want to trade, for the long time and actually make consistent money, you have to have discipline. And discipline is it's because you've got no one else out there to keep you honest. It's you versus you, and you have to do that for yourself. So try and demonstrate discipline, and it'll set you up for success over the long run. So there you go. I hear that sounds like Brian. That's got to be Brian.
Yeah. Sounds like Brian there. We'll see. Oh, no, maybe it's Andrew.
Is it Andrew? What's happening? I hear noise. Somebody.
Yeah. Well, while we get that squared away, guys, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube, sitting at 243. So better than last time, but let's get that a little higher if we can. So help us get that support from you guys.
Who won our laptop yesterday? It was laptop day. What happened?
It was laptop day. It was I forgot the name. Brandon won it yesterday.
Excellent.
Yeah. Congratulations. So Brandon won the laptop. Yes, and congrats to you, man. Yeah. All right, friends, we're gonna hand it over. I see Andrew and Brian with his great sign. I gotta get used to the sign. It looks great over there, ready to go live. So take care, guys. Have a good one. We'll hand it off to Brandon and Brian and Andrew.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Peter, Carlos.
And good morning.
Here's Andrew. So everyone doing this morning? Look at that beautiful view out of Andrew's window.
Yeah. I feel like the world is tilted.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit tilted there. So we had jobless claims. They were just a little bit weaker than, or at least there was more jobless claims than expected. Not by much, though. 235 versus 225, I think. So not a huge miss, but moving in as I guess from Powell's perspective, moving in the right direction, or the direction he would like anyway. Tesla's looking a little weak here. Right down at S4. Yeah, we're opening queues. Let's see. Are you looking at the SPY or the queues? Okay. Yeah, we're kind of
everybody.
Yeah, morning. On the SPY, we're kind of rejecting yesterday's high right now.
So Meta was awesome, huh?
Meta beat top and bottom and guided higher. So guess there's not much not to love about that. which is why
Meta
we're up $42 right now.
Apple is up 1%, popping up. That's also interesting.
Hmm.
I'm also looking at Apple too. So I am looking at Meta mostly for opening range breakup. Looks like the price action is pretty nice on it. All-time high is at 542. We have level 523, 530. That is interesting. That's the earning on Meta. Tesla yesterday popped up. Today is gapping down. So it's kind of weird. SMCI, Starbucks definitely no. What else people watching? Uber is watching a risky Uber. Why risky Uber? Zone, everybody's watching Amazon too. Amazon is popping up to Amazon too.
Amazon's not reporting till tonight.
Yeah, TQQ, I don't know. I mean, TQQ was really good in 2022 in the bear market. You know, I don't trade it that much in the normal environment. Mobley, what is Mobley? NBLI?
Mobley is Mobileye.
Mobileye Global. What is happening with this guy?
Must have been earnings.
Why? The float on it.
ARM's gapping down a lot.
That's a recent IPO. It's on the all-time low.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Apple's got a lot of bids to the downside. 223, 222.30.
Life is good.
Nvidia's looking a little weak too.
Big
order at 116.
Hopefully Meta gives us a pullback. EDA.
Yeah, Meta's up, popping a bit. Oh, look at Nvidia's going to go red on the day. Threatening.
Carvana is up. Carvana was the earning? It's not a lot of volume, but Carvana is interesting too. Gets the volume. Carvana is at all-time high now. It's 52-week high. Carvana is really nice.
Carvana, I don't know what the latest is on Carvana, but I know it's pretty heavily shorted, or at least it has been in the past.
Very nice.
All right, we've got less than a minute, everybody.
Less than a minute, guys. Let's make some money.
Yeah, 20% short interest, Carvana. All right, let's see where we go here. Let's see where we go. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
See what Mr. Zuckerberg is doing. It's a little bit extended right now. That's the problem.
Yeah.
AMD strong.
Nvidia is really trying to stay green here.
AMD popped up nicely too. AMD is the rate.
Yeah,
Right, so
yeah,
Meta.
indeed got an upgrade. Just shorted some Tesla, 228. I'm just going to see if this is it's not really a rising devil, but because it's not really trading on earnings, but it just looks a little
Weak.
It went into the trading day week. Oh, here we go. Nice. I'll take that. It's covered some.
Long than
Dropped down.
Meta still at 518. Small size of Meta 519. Actually, it looks like an opening edge breakdown, but I don't know why I actually went long. NVIDIA is popping back up. Yeah, I'm actually getting out of Meta. I don't know why I actually went long. It doesn't look like a pattern.
I'm out of the rest of Tesla. Didn't really work out the way I hoped. I was expecting it to, but it's right at this S4 level, so it's holding support there. It's kind of where I did take some partial.
Meta looks like he wants to come back up. Let's see. If Meta is about the revamp, been working hard on it. AMD's
ARM is pumping.
I'm going to get some long on AMD, 146.57. Let's see if we can go through 147. Okay. Long NVIDIA too at 177. Actually, I had some NVIDIA from yesterday, but actually I went long NVIDIA now at 117.85. AMD as well. Oh, so I haven't shared the chat room yet. AMD did a nice pullback at the VWAP. Let's see what is happening here. See if you can hold AMD. Tesla's going back up too.
Yeah, Tesla's moving back up. Held after that pullback to S4.
You can hold. I keep an eye on NVIDIA long. Let's see. Above VWAP, I might actually add more. Tesla could be a good long too, actually. Tesla.
Yeah, I just got long at 230. This break above the S3.
Yeah, Tesla might go green. I'm going long Tesla 230. I'm going to add more on NVIDIA, guys. I already had NVIDIA from swing, but let's see if NVIDIA is going to go and continue higher. AMD is still long in there. So I'm long NVIDIA, AMD, and Tesla. NVIDIA is popping up to 119.
Yeah, NVIDIA is going. I'm long NVIDIA with you as well. I just hope this isn't like a chop fest this morning.
Meta came above the VWAP too. I already have so many positions, so.
Getting out of Tesla, I don't really like what it's trading.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I'm getting out of Tesla too. I go back on Meta. Yeah, AMD, I'm going to get a stopped out too. Let's see. Back long on Meta at 518. I had a little bit more than that. I'm completely out of Tesla. Let's see what AMD is doing. Shit. I'm getting out of AMD too, guys. Got to stop that. It's bad loss. Oh, very bad loss today so far. Lost everything.
Yeah, so far I'm red, but as well. This one's got some big orders right here. Just 226. Again, held this 226.60 level.
It's also dropping. Everything is going completely the opposite direction.
Yeah, SPY. The Qs are dropping.
I'm getting out of Meta too, guys. Stop down on Meta. Oh, shit. I have a very bad loss. Everything else.
Wow, Meta dropped a lot. All right. Trying another short on Tesla here at 227.20.
This Mobley is interesting. Mobili.
Short
I'm
Tesla
still the only
again.
long that I have is NVIDIA, but NVIDIA, I have the average is 117. Yeah, this Mobley is also selling off really nicely. Amazon.
I'm hoping Tesla loses this 226.60. Here we go. Ah, shit, come on. There's a buyer there, right at that level.
Bad losses, guys. Very bad losses. Bonds are up a little.
Yeah. Media just doesn't want to drop.
Tesla is at S4 is garbage.
Yeah,
ARM.
it's just holding that. I'm still short.
ARM is interesting. Wants to go up to 134. I'm still in NVIDIA, but my position on NVIDIA is a little bit weird because I already had some shares from the before. My average is at 117 now. So I had some from yesterday. So I'm profitable on that, but my average is pretty much 117 with these ads that I had. If it comes above the VWAP, I might actually add more on that.
There's definitely a seller at 227.20 on Tesla. It's just it's a fight between this buyer at 227 and 227.70 right now. There's a lot of orders to the downside, so I'm just hoping that that's where we're going to move.
Go flat tomorrow. Meta potentially of the week. Take another long and Meta eventually find.
I
One
come
eighteen
on,
twenty.
drop. Stop buying Tesla.
I'm gonna get long Meta 1748. See if this time
Yeah, it
Meta
really
wants to
bounced
go up.
back.
Well, it has gapped up. It doesn't go down, so I thought maybe eventually does open range break up. So Meta is going up, Nvidia is going up. Let's see if Nvidia can go back
Qs
to
are
one.
the spies breaking
Yeah.
out. Qs are breaking out. I'm getting stopped out at Tesla again.
Average AMD doing.
AMD popped and dropped. Seems to be a favorite thing to do.
Right, so Nvidia is going. I'm adding more a little bit more. I have a big size on Nvidia. Seeing that from yesterday. Let's see if it can pop above 119. There we go. Oh, nice. Anyone in NVDA? Now I can make some really nice money. Anyone in NVDA, guys? I have a very big size on NVDA. Let's see if you can get to 119.20. Get out and leave it on it partial. Meta, I'm still long, but Meta is bouncing back again at the way back.
Nothing but upside orders on Nvidia.
I think it might go to 120 today. Because yesterday it did try 120, I think, in the pre-market.
Yeah.
See if we can break that. I have a very big size on it. Meta might go up to. I'm adding a little bit more on Meta. 1,518.70.
Yeah, I'm long Nvidia with you, so.
Running up, that's good. SPY's running up.
Yeah, SPY and Qs are both breaking out.
Yeah, I'm long Meta, guys, too. Meta hopefully is popping up. About 520. Maybe goes to R3, high of the day. NVIDIA price action turned out to be super bullish. Now 5 minutes isn't engulfing. We might go for the higher pre-market. Partialing some here at 119.65. I don't want to partial too much. I have a big size. I want to keep it. I think it's going to go above 120. Meta is going up.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want it partial.
I think Meta has the potential to go up back through as well. I'm adding a little bit more on Meta, 519.46. Oh yeah.
All right, just selling some Nvidia 120.08.
Very big size, and I have very big size, guys, on NVDA. My average now is 117.12. Again, I had some swing from yesterday that impacted the average. I think the high of the market on NVDA would be around 120.63, which is this area. So I think there's a good chance that we can pump it. Meta going up to high of the day too.
I don't trust Meta too much. I think it feels like it's going to be choppy.
I think it looks like the 5 minute high, low.
Yeah.
Slowly it's trying to behave. I mean, Meta the earnings, so eventually finds a direction. Now, as you see, it looks like it wants to pop up. Add more on Meta, maybe. NVDA potentially we can add and pull back on it. Tesla also looks like it wants to do the same thing that NVDA did. Market is strong, huh? SPY is going up. Which sector is pushing? Which sector is strong? Let's go to trading terminal. See which sector now. Communication services and real estate are the most fun.
Communication services is that is Tesla, or I mean Meta, I should say.
So Meta is also going up. I'm going to add a little bit more on NVIDIA here at 119.97. A little bit more on NVIDIA here, 119.51. Again, my average is pretty good, so I add with quite enough confidence. Let's see if Meta can. I'm adding a little bit more on Meta too at 520.72. I want to see if Meta can go for a high today.
Yeah, Meta wasn't too long ago. Meta was up over 540.
NVIDIA is pulling back. NVIDIA, I'm hopeful that we can get to the high pre-market 120.64. Again, the entry was very important. The average is super important. So my average is pretty good. Meta is going up. Come on, Meta. Meta, come on, Meta. There you go. Meta is going. Let's see if Meta breaks up high today.
This 524 is R3.
Yeah.
Which is what was high of day here? 523.55. I'm all out of NVIDIA, so made some money back on that one.
NVIDIA and Meta, I have a good entry on both of them now. I haven't partialed on Meta yet. Let's see if it's actually going back to what I'm adding a little bit more here on Meta, 521.60. Let's see if you can break the 5 today. I need to go to the bathroom. Come on. I'll be back in a second. This is an emergency.
It's an emergency. Emergency bathroom break. All right, well, I'm not seeing anything I really like at this moment. NVIDIA seems to be pulling back. It's not to say that it won't make another run here. Same with Meta, kind of pulling back from that R3 again. Buying the Qs, pulling back now a bit, dropping a bit. AMD is looking weak. AMD did the same thing yesterday. It it popped up and then it sold off.
Sorry guys, I'm back. Shit, everything's putting back on. I'm still in the Meta. SPY is putting back. NVIDIA, I'm still long in NVIDIA too, guys. Let's see what NVIDIA is doing.
All right. Shorted AMD on this pop, 143.53. Uh-oh, that order to the downside just disappeared.
Yes, order just come back. NVIDIA, guys. 119.61 and that's going up to Meta 522. Let's see if you can get the break of 5 today.
I'm out of AMD because that order disappeared to the downside. There was a big order there. It's kind of where I figured we'll be going.
Finally, Mr. Zuckerberg broke out. Finally, now I'm partialing a little bit to make the losses back. I was down big on Meta. Patience worked on Meta. 525. Let's break that. So I made the losses back on Meta. When I took Meta, I was super patient on Meta, so I started adding at 941 a couple of times. I still have NVIDIA too, guys. Did anyone took Meta? That was a stupid trade that I did. Same man. Still on NVIDIA. Lost my hope on NVIDIA yet. Meta, let's see how far we can go. What is R4 at?
Looks like 539.
539? Oh shit. If you can get there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So NVIDIA, I'm not sure. NVIDIA is a little bit tricky. So it still stays above the VWAP. As long as it stays above the VWAP, there's a case for it to go back up. Depending on your entry, my entry is now around 118. So since my entry is pretty good, I have a big size on it too. But my entry is pretty good, so I can hold it. I added a couple of times to see. So it really depends on the entry. Entry defines your trade. But I think there's still a good chance for NVIDIA to pop up. Market seems strong. Qs are going up. As you see, NVIDIA hold the VWAP very nicely. Let me go back to Tesla. Price popping up, 526. I think Meta has continued grinding up today. So NVIDIA is going up. I'm adding a little bit more on NVIDIA.
Qs are breaking out. SPY's back at high of day. Still lots of orders to the upside on NVIDIA. I'm just long some calls on Meta. 525s.
Because I'm very, very, very happy with the way that people are trading in this $50,000 fund that accounts. We have two traders that they're doing amazing. I'm actually super, super impressed by these two traders. That is amazing. All right, so NVIDIA, let's see if NVIDIA stops me out or not. My average on NVIDIA is pretty good, 118. So I have some room to look into that.
Just gonna, I'm selling some calls here at $8.
You bought calls on Meta, yes?
Yeah, 525s. Back short AMD.
Day trading. So the funded account is only for day trading, guys.
Just covering some AMD.
So you're short AMD, huh?
Yeah, I'm covering more here at 42.55. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
So there's a news coming now.
Just covering some more at 45. What have we got? 10 o'clock. ISM manufacturing. I'm all out of my calls on Meta. It's okay. Ooh, ARM is dropping. I'm covering some more AMD at 142.20. Here we're going to go break 142 maybe.
So NVIDIA is setting off. I might just stop me out at the break even.
Covering, just going to cover some more. Might bounce here. AMD.
Good. That's picking up. Piece of garbage.
Piece of garbage, Tesla.
It's not my goal.
Lost money on. Yeah, it could go green here.
What kind of Tesla is running up like that? Tesla is going to go green.
Man, ARM is getting destroyed.
Oh, it's that one green. There. So this squeeze at 940 was really nice on NVIDIA. I was really convinced that it's going to go break above 120.64. I still have room for it. So because it was a swing, I started adding to my swing. My average is around 118. So I still have room. It hasn't lost the VWAP yet. But it's getting a little bit more trickier the longer that it stays here. Plus, I had some bad losses on Tesla and AMD. I needed the profit to build up. I didn't want to get out too early. It's coming down slowly, probably going to stop me out. Bonds are pretty interesting.
Yeah, all the yields were down this morning. Just covering some more AMD. Ooh, wee.
AMD sold off, yeah.
Yeah, just covering here 140, 180.
AMD popped up, gave a new life to the market, and then it just sold off.
Yeah, did that yesterday too. Oh crap. Wow, the Dow is red. IWM is red. So I'm surprised with the yields down. It's weird.
And it's going to go to 140 probably. AMD reversal could be nice. Now that AMD is setting up like that, I potentially look at S4 at 138.23 potentially for a bounce on this on AMD. And I'm most likely going to stop out at the break even on NVIDIA.
I'm just okay. Here we go. I'm just covering the rest of my AMD under just a 140.96 here. Now that worked out a little bit better. when the morning started. May have covered a little too early, but yeah, AMD could bounce here.
I think I want to take it at S4.
Yeah, 138.20. I don't know if it's going to get there.
No, S4 is at 138, 139.42. There's also a level on there, so NVIDIA is completely going down. So I got out. NVIDIA is going to go red. I'm all out of NVIDIA.
Okay, I'm flat now.
I still have Meta. My average on Meta is 590. 520.
NVIDIA is bouncing off PDC again.
As soon as it stopped me out, I thought
There's
it's
the
going to be a
bounce.
good day. But
There's the bounce on AMD that I was expecting.
I honestly thought that it's going to be a better day. It's holding.
Get back up to 142. I'm going to reshort AMD. Oh, nice short on ARM. Nice short on ARM, Rebel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near 142 on AMD. I think we're going to get more downside here.
I'm still in Meta. I haven't got to stop down on Meta yet. The only thing that I have right now is Meta. Let's see if it stays above the rebound. Market turned out to be garbage today. At least I traded like a garbage.
Yeah, I had a few losses right at the open. Oh God!
I am not green today.
I should have reshorted AMD.
All right, so let's see if AMD is going to go down to S4. Now, this 140 is a level, but below that is S4. If you're patient for S4, we might get to S4. He's going to go red too. Market is just completely reversed. IWM keep going down. It's still holding. That's nice. I still have Meta. Meta might make me profitable.
All right. Well, I really feel like I want to reshort AMD, but it's not a great place to take an entry here.
Short is a little bit tricky. I'm looking for it for a long. One
Yeah,
level
it's
would be
just
140, which is the 140 is yesterday low. A better
yeah,
level would be for.
yeah. We're right at yesterday's low right now, so potential for it to bounce here. Still a lot of orders to the downside, which is where I think it's going. Yeah, Tesla's trading like crap today.
No, Alex, I'm red for the day. Depending on what this Meta is doing, but I'm red for now.
I'm sitting on my hands right now. Still think that AMD is going down, but this is resisting getting into it. Let's see, where will if I do take a short, it'll have to be over 141.
For AMD.
Yeah. If I reshort it. Maybe we're going to get there.
It is squeezing back up. eBay. eBay is still a thing.
I don't know. Some people use it. It's still around.
I think 52-week high, huh? Wow. The Meta, as long as it stays above the VWAP, I'll stay in it. My average is about 520.
Yeah, I'm sure.
519, so very close to being stopped out.
I got short AMD at 141 again. Here we go. It just broke through there. I had an order sitting there.
AMD.
Gonna cover some 140.40.
Oh, there you go. So Meta is coming back to my break-even point. I'm getting a stop down on Meta, guys. I stopped out on Meta.
SPY is at low of day now. Talk about swinging around here.
Yeah, so I got to stop out. The only position that I'm hoping that I can get something out of it is AMD. Let's see if it breaks down for a reversal. Everything else is super, bad. Yeah, and I'm down. I'm red for the day.
Yeah, I'm red on the day too right now. See if AMD can really break down here again. That would be cool. All right, just going to cover some more at 140.17, 140.18 filled. Here we go. Yeah.
There you go. He's going down.
Yeah, covering some more. 139.80. See, that's where Bookmap kind of helped me out a bit. You can see on Bookmap, you can see all these levels where AMD is, where people are positioned to buy it. We just keep taking out these levels. There's an order here around 139.
If AMD goes down a little bit more.
All right, Jared, you're right. Let it fill 140.
That is short the AMD tool.
You've got my, my screen's up there. You just have to look in the top left-hand corner of the screen. It says, oh man, here we are. Thank you, AMD. Man, oh man. Now for the flush, the royal flush.
Nice.
It's kind of surprising that IWM is down with rates down. You would have thought IWM would be catching a bid here. All right. How's everyone's day going? How's everyone's day going? Oh, yeah. Well, that's they're pretty rare, right? I guess that's why you don't ever see them. Yeah, I know it's kind of been a tough day, you know, especially if you try to trade Tesla. Piece of crap. The markets tried to put in a rally, and we kind of just faded around just before 10 o'clock. Put in a higher low or a lower high, I guess. Lower high on the SPY, and then we false breakout on the Qs, and now we're threatening to go red here.
Yeah, today was a tough day, guys. I'm actually surprised. Usually in the days that one of these big companies popping up, Meta and stuff, you get good trading, but today it turned out to be garbage.
Still holding on to a few shares of AMD. I'm going to see if we can lose. We can keep going down here. Look at NVIDIA just went red on the day. Yeah, SPY just broke. Everything's red. All the indexes are red now.
For AMD,
Just putting in an order at 138.95.
Hey, Andrew, I think you're on mute.
Tesla bouncing again off that 227 level. All right, we're getting a bit of a bounce here on AMD. I think it's still, this is just a short covering bounce. I don't think this is a reversal. Qs went back red, SPY or green. SPY went back green.
sorry guys, I just joined up. I had to go into a meeting quickly. I was talking to a meeting. All right, so how do we lose our money? NVIDIA went red. AMD, I can't wait until AMD goes to S4.
AMD is going to hell. Just added back again at 140. It's right at the 9 EMA.
Boeing is down 4% too.
Yeah, Boeing's down a lot. I don't know. They had earnings. They had earnings yesterday morning. They're replacing that Calhoun guy. We might bounce back here, so I might just end up stopping out all my MD if we move any higher than this.
This is not acceptable. We are losing money. So Boeing is changing their CEO. That's why it's going down, huh?
I don't know. I don't know why it's down today. I thought it was up yesterday, even though they had really bad. Yeah, it was kind of up yesterday. It's down today.
So my CrowdStrike puts, yeah, I closed in with a very big loss. So CrowdStrike, yeah, I accepted the loss on that. Yeah, it's 225. I'm glad. I closed it when it was like 235. So because it keeps going down. Yeah, it was a very bad loss.
Yeah, it's down
This
at
week,
225 now.
Yeah, this week was very bad.
Okay, AMD, do your thing. Cover some. I'm going to cover some 139, 139.45. Covering some of that ad.
Eric, I sold the puts. I didn't own the puts. So I was on the other opposite side.
Yeah, you wish
So
you'd
I
owned the
essentially-
puts.
Yeah, I wish I had the puts. So when you are
Here we
selling
go.
the puts, then it's completely opposite. It's like you have to pay the insurance essentially.
Here we
Whoever
go. We're
had
going to
the
lose it.
put,
Oh, yes. Just covered some more. 138.95 filled. That's where my order was.
short on AMD, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I've added a few times back when it's popped. Anyone else trading AMD with me? Nice. Nice, guys. This has turned into a really nice trade. Well, we know Peter's in. All right, guys. This is where we wrap things up on YouTube. Thanks for joining us this morning. I hope you had a good morning. It was a little bit tough with the
Yeah,
open.
guys, thank you so much. I didn't have a good morning at all, so I'm at the loss, $10,000. So I don't see also any other trade to take now. Maybe AMD reversal at S4. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Give us a like and see you tomorrow in the chat in the YouTube. And if you guys want to join, $1, join us in the chat room, guys, for $1. Cheers, guys.
For a week. What a deal. All right, guys. See you,
What a deal.
everybody.
What a deal. Yeah, cheers.